Hello, welcome to Naval Action. This is VMAQ2-X. It's Saturday, April 19th. It's about coming up on 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There's 1,034 online, 154 battles. There was a hot fix this morning. Captains. Following changes were deployed today, April 19th. Slightly increased the supply of stone blocks across the Caribbean. Localization improvements. And that is that. Let's take a look at the map. We can see the Spanish are consolidating their stance along the east coast here. The British have captured the Gulf Coast of Florida here and about half of Cuba. And we'll look down here, they're on this part of the Yucatan Peninsula. The Spanish are here on this part of the Yucatan. Shallow waters, pretty much the same, no real changes. French incursion onto Cuba. You can see the pirates have set up basically an island in the middle of everything of control. Spanish are here on Hispaniola. Looks like they're pushing the French out of it. And then you follow along down here. It looks like the pirates are attacking various places in this area also. While the French seem to be focusing on the northern part of South America here, and the Spanish. So there's conflict here, conflict here. I'm sure there's conflict here. French are along Central America here. Now they're butting up against the British. So that's where we stand as of 4/19/2025. Server time 1650. I wonder if the hidden islands are still here. I might have to take a sail and see someday. St. George's Town is uncaptured as of this moment. I believe the conquest flags have a timer. Maybe that's a problem because it's a good sail to go from Wilmington to here or anywhere else for that matter to there. So maybe this will remain open. But that's state of the game as of this afternoon. Everything is wonderful. It's a holiday weekend. People are doing some sailing and fighting. Everything's good. Here we are back in port. I was crafting and I made some ropes and blocks. And I figured I would sell some here on the market. I sold it for $75 each. I think that was close to, it was probably a little bit less than half of what the next guy selling it for was. So it's been filled. And I can go, and I also am selling some rum. And that's partially filled, so that'll get filled the rest of the way. I'm selling it for 24 each. And so we're going to claim this, see how much money we get. I got 162,000 now. Now I'm up to 177. So it's about 15K. Nothing to sneeze at. I placed an order for stone block. You can see it was 16 reals to place this order. There are 2 ports in the shallows that have stone block. Let's go to the map. Zoom in here. Crown Haven drops stone block, and Walker's Cay, which is Spanish held, drops stone block. So I sailed up to Crown Heaven, checked the price, and there was none available in store, and the contracts, there were several, hence the price drove up because the stone block cost is like maybe 3 or 4 a piece, maybe 5, but it was driven all the way up to 13 or 15, something in that area. So I said, well, let me run up here to Walker's Cay and check, because the way saltpeter worked in West End is it was always available in store because it was Spanish owned. So it's like many players couldn't go in there where they had a warship or whatever reason people weren't going in there. All you need is a trade ship. You can go right in. I figured it'd be the same thing up here. Nope. Stone block is a rare commodity currently, and I believe the devs increased. Well, I just read it up on the patch notes that the devs increased the stone block a little bit to give us some more. So I came back down here to Crown Haven, dropped a contract to buy some, because I want to get some Trader's Links crafted, and that's the last thing I need is stone block to craft the Trader's Links. And as far as crafting provisions, let me bring up the recipe. That's workshop, craft, provisions. Now provisions requires you to have fish meat, barrels, rum, and tobacco. And I was like, you can also just go out and buy provisions. Morgan's Bluff sells it, and I believe that players are crafting it and selling it also. So I was like, I'm not really going to bother making provisions, so I'll just go buy enough to get me where I need to go as far as and that's what I did yesterday. I was out doing some cargo runs and placing some orders and doing some pickups. I bought some fur log, and so I can make my build my ship. I got everything I needed to make my first ships on order or back in my warehouse yesterday. So I got to make one quick run up to Crown Haven, pick up my stone block, and then I can make at least 2 Trader's Lynxes. When I go up there, I might place another order. Depends on the price. But rather than spend all the time because rum takes molasses to make. Tobacco by itself is an item that you buy in a store. I believe you can get that at Road Rocks. And then fish meat is sold way down in like Dead Man's Cay or Pittstown, one of those places further south in the green zone. Rather than do all that, I would just go to Morgan's Bluff and buy me some provisions, pay a little bit more. It's all right. I got the cash. That was my choice. So that is my little plan today, is to go pick up my stone block, craft a couple Trader's Lynxes, see what drops, see how, because what kind of ship you get is kind of an RNG thing. You're not always going to get a gold, but you're not always going to get a gray. You might get a blue, might get a green, might get a purple. So it's kind of like a throw of the dice. So let's see what happens. Let me go make my run, and then we'll do some crafting. Okay, I just left Water Bay. I dropped a cargo delivery off there, and they do sell saltpeter, and it's available in store. So when I was looking at that on the Netflixy map the other video or so ago, I was like questioning whether saltpeter was there. It's there, and I didn't buy any. I'm on my way to Crown Haven to pick up my stone block, but on the way I figure I'd drop some cargo so I could earn enough money to cover the costs of the stone block. If you're making a cargo run somewhere, you should be hauling cargo. If you're going somewhere to pick up a resource, haul cargo along the way. You might make enough to pay for the purchase of the item you're buying. That's another little helpful hint. Uh, Not sure if you wanted that or not, but there it is. Okay, here we are in Crown Haven. I just collected my load of stone blocks, but look at the prices. Why this guy bid it up to 20, I don't know. That's not a lot of common sense there, but it is what it is. So, see if there's anything else here. Nope. I also placed a order for iron ore in Mangrove K. When that fills, I'll go pick it up. It's already fulfilled. That was instant. So maybe after this cargo run, I'll have to come back north. I got some stuff to drop off in other areas, and then I'll head back and we'll do some crafting. Okay, here we are, Marsh Harbor, and I've made a cargo delivery here, and I figured, well, I'll check the price of hemp. And this is what players are doing, is they're buying out the stock of hemp that shows up, and then they're selling it at huge marked up prices. Hemp is a 4 real item, and this guy probably bought it all up, and then he was selling it at 50. You can see these orders here. Look at these orders, 10,000. What this guy's doing is trying to corner the market. He'll buy the whole drop, and then for as long as that takes for the next drop, he'll place a contract there and corner the market. That's what a lot of these people like to do. Some of these guys are just doing crafting, but when you see like 10,000, there's some skullduggery going on. I saw that at Mangrove K too for iron ore. People placing, so I guess it drops in a batch of 10 grand. But that's the kind of BS that you see the players doing in game. Kind of ruins it. Nothing there that I want, so I'll go ahead and ditch out and get on back to Nassau after some drops. Okay, here we are back in Nassau. And I went and carried some cargoes around, and I picked up my stone block. I made a big order for iron ore in Mangrove K that I got to go pick up. And I managed to come back with more silvers than what I left port with. So anywhere you go, if you're able, carry a cargo. So now it's time to do some crafting. So we'll move the stone blocks in here. I think that empties out my ships. The other one is empty. Yep. And before I craft the trader's links, check the blueprint. I got more than enough fur logs, more than enough stone block. Sail canvas is good. Iron fittings is good. Ropes and blocks. I can probably stand to make some more. Hemp is good. Provisions is good. Good enough for 2 ships at least. It gives 35 craft XP. Now I think after you craft ships one at a time. I wonder how much this craft XP drops on the next ship. That's something we're going to pay attention to. And I'm also going to go on the Netfliffy map and see is this the better build? Is that one a better build? What about some of these other materials? So I'm going to take a minute and we're going to do some ship compares on the net fliffy map. Be right back. Okay, here we are in the net fliffy map, Naval Action Map 2. We're going to do some ship build compares. So traders links, woods and modules, frame, fur, crew space. That was the first option. Our second option was fur, fur. So fur is faster than just fur crew space. Requires one less crew. It says it has less crew with muskets, but it's the same. So I don't see that difference. There's no difference in the hold. Weight seems to be the same. Repair needed is the same. So what if we had some other kind of woods? I basically only have fir, but I also have oak and live oak, and those are heavier woods. They're going to make a slower ship. So let's say you had a fir frame and a oak trim. That has the same speed as the fir crew space, but it has better hit points and thickness. So that's an option if you want a slightly tougher ship that you think you might get attacked in, but it's not the best possible speed. What if we had Bermuda cedar? What would it look like then? Faster. Faster than fur. And basically the same every other way, but faster. What if it was fur Bermuda cedar? Not as fast, but still faster than fur. Let's swap these around. No change. Let's try New England fir. 14.66. Basically the same stats as fur, but faster. That seems like that might be the fastest build you can build as far as a trader's links. What about a trader's cutter? What's the difference between the two? Fur. This has buffs are crazy on here. Higher battle rating. Speed is better than a fur crew space, but less than a fur lynx. We're comparing a lynx and a cutter now. All around, more crew required. Better crew with muskets. They have a buff. Hold is the same between the trader's cutter and the trader's lynx. So between the trader's lynx and cutter, the lynx is a little bit faster, but it suffers in a lot of other areas. So this is a better fighter. That's a better runner. What would this be with fur crew space? Speed is less than a fur crew space trader's lynx. Still, it's got buffs as far as fighting goes and boarding goes. That's the cool thing about this tool is you can compare ships builds in the same class or in different classes. So, extremely useful tool. I think I'm going to build my two out of the fur combos because what I'm hoping for is maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get a like a gold or a purple drop, and then that will become my secret mission runner. So, incredibly useful tool here. Naval Action Map 2. Give it a try, people. Okay, here we are back in port. I've got the recipe brought up. You can see the materials I got. I got oak log, teak log, white oak, that lignum vitae log, and fir. Got plenty of fir. Now the difference in material usage is with the fir it's 356. With the fur crew space, it's 241. That's the only reason why you build, is you're just trying to get the craft points at that point. So let's go fur. Let's roll the dice. Got a blue one. 14.26. Pretty good speed. Because it's fur, it's a thickness negative. Let's look at it in the port. Trader's Lynx. Nice and shiny new. Got that new boat smell. What are they selling for here in port? $15,000 is the lowest. $21,000 is the highest. And you can bring up, like if you hover over this, you can bring up that ship's stats. See, that's 1405 speed. What is it made out of? Teak and fur. This one is fur crew space. 1405. 1405 fur crew space. Fur 1426. This is like I got built. It's built crafted by someone. Gray, white oak, fur. I don't know why somebody would do that. 13.84. That's oak. So do we sell it? Let's craft another one. Now that gave us 35 craft points. How much will this one provide? Oop, 35. So we're going to do fur again. Got enough materials. Good to go. Need more provisions after this. Let's roll the dice. Come on, gold. Another blue, but this one is fast. So this is a 1440. The other stats are basically the same. So this one I might keep. I've been meaning to run those pearls to A's, and I want something fast. So we'll think on that. It's a little bit like gambling here, you know? So what we'll do is this one here. That's our fast one. This one's only 1212 speed. Strange. That might be because of the extra hold space. Let's see if this speed changes. It's 1440. If I make it my primary ship, did it change? Yep. The increased hold space changes the speed. So I have that merchant perk on. If I get rid of that merchant perk, the speed will go back up. Your perks matter. So I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to name it fast. That way I know that's the one I want to keep. This one I'm going to sell. Going to go auction. What was the lowest price? I think it was 15 something. Seven. Ship. Links. Port of sale. Search. Yeah. I'll just sell mine for 15 even. Whoops. This button. And you can see your ships on sale list here. 1 of 10. And then everything else in your fleet is here. So now we've crafted ourselves up to the next level 16. What recipe drops? Let's check here. Nothing there. Guns! Got our first gun. Did any ships pop up? Nope, no new ships. So maybe 17 will get another ship recipe. But now we can craft cannons. How much does these give us? 14 craft each on the, I'll bet that's just the initial one, and then in the price, then it's going to drop. So it requires all of these things: iron ore, charcoal, oak planks, ropes, and blocks. 11 reals. You're going to produce 12 guns every batch. So What are these selling for in the store? 4-pound mediums are selling for 80. Now let me transition back to the net fliffy map. Okay, here we are back at the net fliffy map, and we're going to look at cannon individual costs here. 4-pound medium gun, 94. So they were being sold for like around 80. That's taking a loss if they're crafting them. I imagine it's okay if you're just capping them off of ships and stripping capping ships and stripping the cannons off. Then it's just, he's trying to sell it for the quickest price to move it. But if he was crafting them, he's taking a loss. So that's another reason you'd like to have this tool, is you want to make sure that you're selling your product for not less than what it costs you to make it. So this is a great tool. Be sure to use it. Okay, we're back in port, and I got emails. You successfully put Trader Links on sale in Nassau for 15,000 reals. And then an instant later, you received 15,000 reals from selling Trader's Links, which was sold at Nassau. Ship was sold to Morales. So I think that's nice that they tell you who bought your ship. And here I am, I'm almost to 200K. So ship crafting, it has begun. Thanks for watching.